remember when Maggie told you that when we're on the stage, we can give our mummies and daddies lots of hugs, lots of cuddles. Lots of waves.
Stage fright.
Waving and smiles and thumbs up. Some of you wanted to give to your mummies and daddies. Perfect. Excellent. Right, let's begin.
A long time ago, there was a lady called Mary and a man called Joseph. One day, Mary saw a wonderful thing. An angel came to her with a very important message. She said, Mary, you're going to have a baby, and his name will be Jesus. Because she was going to have a baby.
I'm going to have a baby.
But then she realised that she had nothing to keep the baby warm. What could she do?
And a blanket.
Brilliant idea. She thought and she decided to knit a blanket.
I know. I will knit a blanket.
So Mary and Joseph went to see some shepherds to see if they could give some wool. And they called for their 5 best sheep.
Five happy sheep came jumping, jumping. Five happy sheep came jumping, jumping over the hill. Five happy sheep came bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Five happy sheep came bouncing, bouncing over the hill. Five happy sheep came running, running, running. Five happy sheep came running, running over the hill. Five happy sheep came jumping, jumping, jumping. Five happy sheep came jumping, jumping over the hill.
So the shepherds got their shears and he snipped wool from the sheep and gave it to Mary and Joseph. Thank you, shepherds. You can sit down now. When they got home, Joseph put the wool onto his spindle and he spun and spun until all the wool was made into long threads. Mary got a big pair of knitting needles and began to knit. Clickety-click, clickety-click went the needles. Then one day there was a knock at the door, and standing there were 2 soldiers and a superhero soldier with a message. They told Mary and Joseph that they'd have to go to Bethlehem to be counted. Where do they have to go, soldiers?
To Bethlehem to be counted.
So Mary and Joseph began the long journey to Bethlehem, and Mary took her knitting with her. She sat on a donkey, and they travelled for many days. Mary knitted and knitted, clickety-click, clickety-click went the needles, but would the blanket be ready in time for the baby Jesus? The ground was very rough and the ride was bumpy.
I can't knit, it's too bumpy.
Mary was getting worried.
I'm so worried I'll never be finished in time.
But then they saw the shepherds again. Don't worry, they said, follow us, we can show you the way. So the shepherds showed Mary and Joseph a nice smooth path to go.
Follow us, we know a better way. Follow us, we know a better way. We want to help you, help you, help you. We want to help you on your way. We want to help you, help you, help you. We want to help you on your way.
Mary kept knitting. Clickety-click went the needles. Then night time came and it began to get dark, so Mary couldn't see what she was doing.